We're here at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Blanchardstown, but before we tell you why exactly, I want to mention an encounter we had. Just walking down here, we had an encounter with two African men who, when we were about 10 foot away from them, gestured to Suzanne to get out of the way, essentially. Suzanne kept walking, there was plenty of room for everybody, and they reluctantly sidestepped her and brushed past her with a look of utter disdain on their faces and speaking in their own language, whatever they were saying we don't know, but it wasn't very pleasant, you can be sure. It was quite an intimidating situation, and it's the sort of thing that we can maybe expect more of in Ireland over the next couple of months and years. That's not to say that all migrant men are bad, obviously, but we have to remember that there are certain countries around the world that treat their women very differently than we do here in Ireland, with a lot less respect. So the reason we're here is just to remind people of the fire that broke out a couple of weeks ago that burnt through 7 floors in rapid time. As well as that, a lot of people will remember the Grenfell tragedy a couple of years ago in the UK that took the lives of many. The reasons for these fires was because of cheap materials and shoddy workmanship, really, all in the name of profit. The reason we want to bring that to your attention again is because of the migrant tenement slums that are springing up all over Ireland. I want to specifically mention the tenement slum in the retail business park in Castlebar. They're going to house 300 migrants there. They're being moved from the International Protection Centre in Brafey so that work can commence there, turning it into a 2-storey permanent accommodation for international protection applicants. So in the retail business park, this is a serious fire hazard, this place. They've moved everyone in early. I don't know why. If I was there in Castlebar today, I would be reporting on it. I wonder, is that anything to do with the reason that they're moving them in early, because I'm not there? Who knows? Anyway, the place, as I say, is a serious fire hazard. All the rooms there are tiny little rooms with very thin walling between them. There are no windows in the majority of the rooms. All the beds are nearly on top of each other. They're not bunk beds, but there's literally no floor spacing. They're side by side, and there's no floor spacing whatsoever. And you would just wonder, how does a place like this get a fire cert? We know East Wall doesn't have a fire cert. How does this place? I doubt it does. It couldn't do. So what's going to happen if and when a fire spreads through this building? How quickly is it going to spread through the building, and how many lives are going to be lost? And who's going to be held responsible? Who's going to be up in charges of criminal negligence? The other thing just to say about this new centre is that at least out in Brafey House, the kids had a playground area. There was a nice grassy area as well. It was away from the main road. The ones that have been moved into the retail park, what have they got? There's no playground, they've got a car park, and they've got a main road. That's all. So that's the regard that there is for these kids. This has nothing to do about humanitarian efforts. This is an exercise in profit making. The reason I couldn't be in Castlebar today is because I wanted to support 100 Dubs who went to the home of a man named Mel Sutcliffe, who is one of these property owners, one of these landlords overseeing the migrant tenement slums and making big money from what he's doing. So about 100 Dubs, as I say, went to his home today to protest and inform the neighbours of what Mr. Sutcliffe was up to. Turns out some of Mr. Sutcliffe's neighbours weren't too impressed with 100 Dubs arriving on their doorstep for an hour. I wonder how they'd feel if a couple of 100 international migrants were just dumped in their neighbourhood next door to them without any consultation or planning whatsoever. And I'd like to say well done to the people of Dublin for representing their communities and for trying to expose some of these profiteers for their behaviour. And I wonder how long it'll be that the people of Mayo decide to pay a visit to the Duffy household and inform the Duffy's neighbours about what they're up to in Castlebar and in Brafey. So well done to all the Dubs. And finally, just to inform people again, or just to remind them about the demonstration that's taking place in Castlebar this Saturday, the 17th of June at 2 p.m. on the Mall, where people are going to be gathering to show their discontent at Mayo County Council for their ongoing lack of consultation with the people and their blatant unwillingness to discuss in any way what's going on in their towns and villages all over the county. So please come and support us. If you're from Mayo, the surrounding areas, you want to support the people of Mayo, come along Saturday 17th of June 2 p.m. in the Mall in Castlebar.